How's it going? My name is Justin Groden, and I am a founder of Stampede.it. Stampede.it leverages the power of group buying and daily deals together with the digital goods and services that we purchase and consume every day on our mobile phones and on our computers. What's the problem? First of all, producers in this market, which include mobile apps and games, social gaming websites, web app services, digital content, and software, currently struggle to effectively and efficiently market and sell their products and services. As an example, there's over 200,000 applications in the Android marketplace alone. And of that, AdMob, a large mobile advertising company, says that of the paid applications, they only see a 1% conversion rate. And to me, 1% is a very low amount that I do not want to see on my ROI. And another smaller problem is that consumers today are preconditioned to group buying because of the success of sites like Groupon and Living Social, and so they're really lacking that ability to do so now with digital goods and services. What's the opportunity? Obviously, you are all very familiar with Groupon, Living Social, and that's what really created this opportunity in today's market. And our total addressable market is $3.3 billion, which is really siphoning off a small portion of the mobile app space and the virtual goods space. Really 13% of the mobile app space and then approximately 20% of the virtual goods space. The solution. Stampede creates a community and platform for producers and consumers to come together to buy and sell their products and services. It provides producers with a marketing platform to get thousands of eyes onto their products immediately with no set costs that you might experience with advertising. And for consumers, it really creates that community for them to leverage their collective buying power to receive those discounts that they're so used to. And it gets cut off there, but what it says is that the built-in viral distribution model that gets created because of the products and services that we work with. And you can see that here. This is a simple mock-up of what the site might look like. But if you look at the red circle, it's highlighting an area that we call our trample points. You can also refer to that as a multiple tipping point model. And so what you can think about is if a deal is offered and you can set a price. So if 500 people buy it, it's 25% off. If 1,000 people buy it, it's 50% off. If 2,000 people buy it, it's 80% off, because you're really taking advantage of the economies of scale that are available with the digital goods and services that we're working with. Because to be honest, if you think about it, what does it cost for one more person to download that Android application versus one more person going to a restaurant with Groupon and buying one more cheeseburger? The business model is pretty simple. We actually have a phrase that we use amongst the team: keep it simple, stupid. And we normally apply it to our product development, but it can really be applied to the business model as well. So what we do is we retain a certain percentage of the daily deals revenue in exchange for access to our targeted community of users. And it's anywhere between 25 to 50%. Our projected first year revenue is $225,000, which is based off approximately 150 deals a year, about 100 units purchased per deal, and an average purchase price of $15. And we will keep our operating expenses extremely low, utilizing many of the lean startup principles and bootstrapping for as long as possible. What have we done so far? Today we've launched our splash page. You can actually go now and sign up as we get ready to launch. Our platform is in development. We have approximately 5 to 6 customers that have signed up to do a deal once the site launches. And through really no marketing whatsoever, we've gained a very small organic user base. Some of our short-term goals are to launch our minimally viable product in mid-May, so a couple weeks from now, to grow that pipeline of deals to approximately 20 before launch, so we can really give ourselves enough of a runway, and then to also really begin to execute our end-user acquisition strategy in order to reach critical mass, because we're really only as powerful as the number of community members that we have to go after the larger products and services in the market. Our team, we really take that hacker-hustler mentality and multiply it by 2. First up is Dan, our first hacker. He is most recently with a company called Grip Media. He was the lead developer on their sweepstakes campaign platform, which now works with many Fortune 500 companies, and they see about 1 million, 1.5 million visits a day. Prior to that, he was actually consulting with the Secret Service for credit card fraud. Our other developer is actually a game developer by trade, and will be doing most of our front-end work, and so he has a lot of experience with HTML, CSS. My hustler in crime is Conrad, and he's got a lot of B2C marketing experience, building a few Twitter applications, ramping them up to a couple thousand users before their acquisition. And myself, I'm a biz dev, work with a software as a service company, help to write the business plan and raise venture capital funding. We're actually not looking for money right now. We are looking for...
Okay, I thought you were... So, questions?
Why can't, so I guess there's two aspects to the question. One is, why can't the kind of typical Groupon, etc., clones do something like this?
Sure.
And two, what about the idea that the perishable versus non-perishable good, right? There's an ever-expansive number of digital goods that you can sell,
yep.
right? And therefore, is that positive or negative in your view in terms of offering it through this thing?
Sure. So that Groupon question is a question we get very commonly, and what we say right now is that they're so focused on winning the local space. Just in the last 5 days, Google and Facebook both announced that they'll be going into the local space. So really, the two companies you would never want entering your market have just entered it. So I think they're going to be really focusing on continuing to win that business. And so our goal is to really be that first mover into the digital space, to kind of create that brand awareness, and then really become that first mover. And to the second point, I think it's a good thing. It essentially allows us to never run out of customers to offer deals on the site. And it really, the companies that we work with have immediate gratification versus if you buy a Groupon, it might take you 30 days to go use your coupon.
So two follow-up questions to that. So number one, you talked all around it. Go hyper-focused. What are the few key first products that you want to sell with this thing, and does everybody who purchases it, even past the trigger points, get the lowest price at the end of the period?
The second part of the question is yes. So it's we use a custom pay solution that allows us to hold on to the transaction. What was the first part of the question?
Give me the top 5 things in the first 6 months that you want to sell that are going to be the blockbusters.
Yeah. So
specifically,
a well-known mobile application, and so if you were to think about it, an example could be...
That's the question. So do you believe you have all the hooks to integrate with the mobile application platforms and do this without a problem and interfering with their content management?
Yes, so we cannot work with Apple, iTunes. We focused purely on Android, which is why we took out 83% of the market there in the Android of the mobile. And so... Yes, we've got an Android game company lined up to do a deal now, and we've walked through the process of what it's going to be like to download the software and get it onto the computer and the distribution.